In this video, I'm going to go over a few things that you should look at when buying cards to grade. Number one, most important, you should look at, obviously, the price of the card, and then the price of the card that it would get if it was a 10. So the raw card was 40, and the PSA 10 is 160. You got to add 20 in for grading. Now, kind of a buzzkill and an unfortunate truth, if you guys are selling your cards back through eBay or really through any way, you're not going to get 100% of that comp. So let's just assume we got 85% of this comp. What's that? Another 22 bucks off. So this would be about $135 card sold. Then you might want to look at the situation if it were to get a 9. So right here, it would be 80 bucks and you would about break even after grading cost and fees, which is a very, very good sign. So that means if it gets a 10, you're going to profit somewhere around 80 bucks. If it gets a 9, you'll still actually profit or around break even, which will make up for all of those times that you actually do win. So you can break even, break even, break even. You really only have to be right 1 out of, say, 5 times in this situation to turn a profit. Now, other things to consider when buying a card to grade is the gem rate of that card. Now, these stats aren't completely perfect because a lot of people aren't sending in all of the cards. You know, you wouldn't send in a card with a ding corner or a fucked up edge or whatever. But here you can see the PSA 10 versus PSA 9 rate is about 50-50. Generally speaking, with a card like this, Mosaic has generally graded really well. About 50-50 is what you can expect. Whenever I send these cards in, again, it's about 50-50, maybe even a little bit better if you're a little bit cautious about what you're sending in. All of these things should be taken into account when buying a card to grade it. What should also be taken into account is the time and money that would take. So generally speaking, my cards take about 2 months to come back to me. It costs about 20 bucks to grade. And so over that period of time, let's say this card costs 40 bucks, you have $60 invested over a 2 or a 3 month span. So another thing that should be definitely taken into account is the timing of it all. So right now, it's July 16th of 2025. If I were to buy this card and I were to grade it, I would generally get it back somewhere around October, maybe middle of September. And if I had a quarterback or a rookie player whatsoever that was very, very, very delicate to the market, meaning a player like Caleb Williams or someone that kind of has something to prove, and if they get off to a poor start in the season, their prices could be cut half or even worse. You can't just look at the price of the card and say, okay, well, a 10 is this and a 9 is this, so I know where my margins are. No, you have to take into account all of these factors and then kind of make an educated decision about whether or not it's worth it to grade. My rule of thumb for situations like this is common sense. Rather than having a set price point and ROI and all this stuff, look at the big factors. Like I said, the timing, the gem rate, what a 9 and a 10 costs, all should go into factors when you are deciding whether or not to grade the card. And finally, you must sell the card. And I have a good option for you. All you got to do is go to our profile on TikTok and then click this first link. It'll drop down to 3 different links. Click the top one, and then it'll shoot you out to a form. The form is very easy to fill out. Just ask a few basic questions about your card. Fill it out, and then one of our reps will get back to you very quickly, and we pay very strong, especially if you buy from us. But this is open to anyone, whether you buy from us or you don't. It's the easiest way to sell cards. You don't have to deal with the eBay fees, and we're very reasonable. And for us, think about it from our perspective. I'm dying to get cards because it's so hard for me to keep cards in stock, whether it's eBay buying or whatever. It's hard for me to keep cards in stock. So I have no problem paying out strong considering I was going to buy cards on eBay anyway. But bottom line, it's a win-win for both. Fill out the form. Let us know. Appreciate you guys watching The Hobby.